Hey, Nugget. Hey, Nugget. Nugget. Can you do me a favor, please?
What?
Can you keep it down? I gotta work early in the morning. I'm really tired.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Nugget. Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Retro Alliance Gaming. As I'm speaking to you, my girlfriend behind the camera is mocking me, trying to make me laugh, but guess what? It did
Actually,
not
I was
work.
trying to make Mitchell laugh, so maybe don't be so self-centered.
Okay, well did he laugh?
No. I'm tired from work.
Well,
Walmart does that to people.
Yeah, so anyways guys, you've probably seen him in one or two videos before, but this is my brother Mitchell. Mitchell, say
Technically,
hi.
he's my brother.
Yeah, he's my brother-in-law, but I just call him my brother as of this point since it's been about 8 years, so...
You're gonna confuse people with the whole Mexican-Jewish thing.
Sorry. No, see, I'm Mexican. I have a Corona, too. So it
Boy!
evens it out.
Yes, that's the most Mexican thing about you.
It is the most Mexican
The
thing
most
about it.
Mexican thing about him is that he favors horchata.
That is.
That's it.
It absolutely is. Anyways, guys, so this is my bro Mitchell. Mitchell, say hi to everybody.
So,
Yeah, he just got home from working a long, hard day. He's a little tired. So we decided I'm going to make a video because something popped up, and then I messaged Mitchell about it, and he seemed to have one or two things to say about it. And so now we're doing the video together, and before I start, I think I just need a drink of beer. All you guys out there, for your homies, you want to take one? Let's say,
assuming people that watch us drink heavily.
Don't
Yes.
do drugs, kids.
That's the whole video. Alrighty, guys. So what we're going to talk about today is the remake of Final Fantasy VII, the most beloved RPG to most people out there.
Maybe don't knock
Thrown
over
in
your
the
drink.
can.
Thrown in the freaking can. Okay, so let's get started with it. We're going to do a flashback to 2015. Me and AJ are in one room, and we're watching E3, and Mitchell and his lovely girlfriend are in the other room, also watching E3. And as we're watching it, it turns out to be the best fucking E3 ever, right? Because we're going through this, and they're announcing one great thing after another. So first they announced, I think there was something before Shenmue, wasn't there? I don't
Kingdom
remember.
Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts. So
And Final
everybody,
Fantasy
of
VII.
course, flips out. Shenmue actually came before Final Fantasy, yeah.
Did it?
I believe
Yeah, it did.
And then they announced Shenmue 3, which we're not actually talking about today, but everybody flipped out. We flipped out. We cried.
These kids were screaming down the hall while I was over in the room. I was like, oh, they're about to freak out. 2 seconds.
I did not expect to scream, but I
Literally,
did.
we were like this on the Kickstarter not to lose things like trying
Don't
to
use
get
Nugget
to
like that!
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
So,
Oh my god!
oh God, I'm sorry, Nugget.
Nugget,
I'm
Jesus
so-
Christ.
I'm
You're
sorry,
an
Nugget.
asshole!
Give me the nugget.
Here, you take care of it.
There, there, nugget.
Sorry, I keep slamming her head on the ground. Okay, so
She's gonna sleep
so
now.
Shenmue gets announced, and Kingdom
Here,
Hearts 3
keep her
gets
in
announced.
safety, huh?
Yeah.
Don't you
This is
throw
all
me!
right.
Don't you fucking throw me! You're both assholes! You are both assholes!
Sorry,
Both of
Nugget.
you.
Sorry, Nugget.
Both of you.
We apologize.
Both of
honey. So, getting back to it,
Asshole.
we see Shenmue 3, for me, the greatest announcement ever of all time, freak out, cry, and then right afterwards, they announced Final Fantasy VII Remake, and at the exact same time, there's a billion Final Fantasy VII fanboys out there going crazy, like, I'm sure, losing their minds. There's videos everywhere, although I think Shenmue 3 definitely won that year, at least for us fans, but it was a huge deal. Now, for me personally, it doesn't matter my opinion or not. I think the game is great as is, but I was really happy that the fans out there were able to get a remake. More power to them. We got Shenmue, they get Final Fantasy VII. So this is an exciting thing. So we see this big trailer. What do you think of the trailer?
I thought it was great. Yeah, I knew it was going to be like early stuff because, you know, Square. They always post things a little too early. Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
So I thought it was great. I was looking forward to it, and then look at us now.
Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and go from this point, and we're going to fast forward almost 3 years. Okay, so what, 2.5 years later. As of this point right now, Shenmue 3 is supposed to be on schedule release for the end of this year. We have gotten multiple trailers.
Shenmue HD.
We've gotten Shenmue 1 and 2 HD, which was freaking amazing. We did a video on that earlier. And we've gotten constant updates, and we know that it's probably coming out at the end of this year, but we know the game is actually being worked on. Meanwhile, all the Final Fantasy VII fans are sitting there twiddling their thumbs thinking, you're going to show us a trailer, and then E3 comes, you're going to show us something, and then another E3 comes, you're going to show us something. And literally, from E3 on, dead fucking silent. Not a single thing has popped up from Square Enix, right?
Like, they had a little convention, I think, in Japan where people could come for, like, exclusive Final Fantasy VII footage that you could only see if you went there. It was like this big thing, and everyone was going there, and they were told not to show what was being shown there. Like, it was top secret.
Did somebody end up linking it, though? Or
No.
They didn't. Okay, so basically, nothing then. Go ahead.
There's a 6-minute time limit on this thing.
Okay, well, how much
It's
more
a
time do we have?
5:12.
Okay, so anyways, going ahead and moving forward from there. So there's been nothing. There's been dead silence, and this is all that we've been able to hear. So people started speculating, what is this? Is it going to come out? Is there going to be some kind of announcement? The very next thing that we hear is that they decide they're not just remaking the whole game, they announce they're going to remake it episodically. So they're planning on doing a ton of episodes, and they're trying on going forward from there and releasing them one at a time. And they said something about releasing an episode maybe in 2017 or I don't know,
something like that.
Yeah, 2017 or something weird like that. And which I personally thought was lame. They said it was too big of a game to release at once. I thought that was really lame news. And it started dwindling like, okay, what is this exactly going to be? Alrighty, guys. Sorry if you saw a little bit of delay in that. Ran out of time on our SD card, so we are back. Anyways, what the hell happened to your head?
Look, this is a metaphor, alright? This is what's happening to Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, God.
This is what's happening to Final Fantasy VII. It's falling apart, or at least that's what I think was happening underneath all of it. Because I think it was like a facade. Like, oh yeah, we totally got this game going, but we have no idea what we're freaking doing with it. Like they had this ambitious drive, but like all the head figures that came from the original, they don't seem to be coming out saying, I totally have confidence in that. It's more like, I believe in them.
Are you sure about that?
That's kind of how I see it. I see these big head figures that were in the original team. They're like, oh yeah, they're doing the thing.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah, so,
They're going for it.
No, that's the whole thing. So, like I said, as it went on, things just got weirder, and they're like, we're going to make it episodic, and all the fans are like, okay, fine, we'll take the episodes, and they're like, we're going to release one at a time. They said they're going to release an episode in early 2018 maybe, or late 2017. None of that ended up happening. Now, when I was talking to Mitchell about this whole situation and how everything was actually working, he pointed out to me that when they actually announced it, the creator of Final Fantasy VII was there, and he had no fucking idea what they were talking about.
Yeah, he was in the he was credited in the first trailer, and he was like, "Oh, I'm a part of this now. Cool."
He's like, okay,
I remember that.
yeah.
He was like, what?
And here's what really bothers me about that. Okay, if they're going to remake one of the most beloved RPGs of all time, and they want to make it stick as close to the original as they can with new stuff, what if the first fucking thing they did was go up to, I don't know, the creator of the game and say, hey, we would like to remake this game and have some kind of a game plan. But when he had no idea, not only were they kind of throwing him under the bus, but then it makes me question, like, did they have any preparation whatsoever? Did they make any plans or do anything at all? So to me, the whole thing's been this weird red flag. And the thing is, Square Enix...
and people didn't trust Shenmue 3 of all things.
No, Shenmue 3, everybody's going crazy about. And the thing is, don't get me wrong when I'm saying this. This isn't a hate video. I love Square Enix. Square Enix shaped our childhoods. Everybody in this room and all of you guys out there, with, Dragon Warrior or Dragon Quest, whatever you want to call it, Final Fantasies, everything.
It's just become sad because this has become like the norm for Square Enix. Like it's been forever since the actual announcement of Kingdom Hearts 3, and then look at how long it took for Final Fantasy 15 to
Oh
come
my
out.
God,
Like,
yeah.
everyone looks back on it like, look at the transformation of it all. But then, turns out, it was 10 years. It was supposed to be a portion of Final Fantasy 13, and it just shows
I remember that.
how things transform for them, and like they don't know what they're doing at the start of it, so they kind of just work with it for a while. People don't know what to expect.
Yeah, and why he's doing this to explain to you the motivation behind it and the reason for the video, if you didn't know from the title, obviously, and watching it, is today there was, we're going to go back to this, but today there was news. Everyone's waiting for some kind of good news or a trailer or something from Final Fantasy VII, and there was news today, and me and Mitchell shared the news to each other, and the news was apparently the people who were working on the game, whatever company they had working on the game, they're not happy with it, so they decided that they were going to scrap the last 2 years worth of development, and meaning they're starting at zero. This is what's motivating this, and here's where my issue comes in. Maybe I'm being paranoid, maybe I'm thinking too much about it, but this brings up a lot of red flags and questions. The first one that we already mentioned, the creator didn't know about it, and they had no idea what they were doing to the point where they had to work on a game for 2 years, or 2 years, and then they have to scrap it all. If that was the case, they probably shouldn't have even started the game. A game that this big in scope with this many fans, they should have had pre-planned. So if they actually were working on the game for 2 years and they're scrapping it, that is a complete fuck up for a AAA company like that to do. I'm sorry. It's good that they're like, okay, we want to make this perfect, but it should have been pre-planned. But I don't know if I'm even buying that. Sometimes I'm questioning whether the game was being worked on at all the last couple of years. We never got to see really any footage or trailers. Are they just saying, hey, it's being scrapped because they need many more years to go? Or are they saying, hey, because they never quite got to it? I'm not sure, but all I know for a fact is that they jumped the gun with this announcement. And after hearing this news today, I feel terrible for all of you guys out there. For me personally, I love Final Fantasy VII, but it's not the be-all, end-all for me. And if I want to play it, I'll play the original. It's not a huge deal, but I'm doing this video because I want to talk about Square Enix and all you fans out there. And Mitchell, being a huge Final Fantasy VII fan and loving it, would love to see a remake. And none of it seems to make any sense. So asking you, Mitchell, hearing them saying canceling today, if we were playing conspiracy theory, what would you say it is? Do you think they've been working on it for 2 years and they really just fucked up that bad where they're scrapping it because they didn't pre-plan, or do you think it's bullshit to fix whatever they messed up to prolong it, or they didn't do anything at all? What do you think?
I feel like it was a bad contrast of trying to please the fans and trying to please the newer audiences. Like, did you notice that the first Cloud model that they had, he was very much like the Advent Children one, and when you go down to the game, yeah, he's angsty, but he wasn't like super emo, and then they came out saying, yeah, he's gonna start being more dorky now. It's just like, it seems like they didn't really have the original game at heart, and they were trying to make like this modernization in a way. I just feel like they put out that trailer to kind of keep up the hype because PlayStation 4 was bringing it that year.
They were, yeah, and that's what I was thinking. To cut you off, I was thinking literally Shenmue, all these big announcements. A lot of insiders probably knew about this stuff beforehand, and they're like, "We need something big." And I feel like they put this trailer together, which clearly took time to do.
Probably even Kingdom Hearts.
It's very pretty, but they just threw it together, threw it out there with no plan, got everybody excited, and now everybody is sitting and waiting. And I personally, one thing I want to say to you guys, any of you fans out there, I wouldn't be waiting for this game. I would literally put it out of your mind until something happens, because Kingdom Hearts, they were talking about doing for years and years and years and years, and it's taken so long. It's coming, but it's so long. But Mitchell, you mentioned to me earlier too, again, with Final Fantasy 15 and stuff, one thing that I think Square Enix needs to do is they need to organize what they're doing. Instead of trying to work on a billion Kingdom Hearts games or a billion other side games, focus on one big project or a few big projects with a couple of your companies or whatever, and get that job done instead of trying to go on forever. Because Square Enix, I love you guys. You guys made every part of my childhood amazing, but come on with this Final Fantasy VII stuff.
You said it all. Moral is, focus on one big game. This game is going to be the huge seller, and millions are going to buy it.
Everybody.
So this is what should be focused on, not a whole bunch of side projects.
Exactly.
And that's all I got. I think we're running out of time.
Yeah, no, I think we're good. So, anyways, guys, we just want to come in and sorry going back and forth. None of this is scripted. We just want to talk to you guys about Final Fantasy VII, give you an idea of where our thoughts are and our frustrations. Do me a favor, if you have any thoughts about this, if you're a huge fan, if you have any ideas about what you think is going on, please post in the comments below. Let us know what you think about it. Again, this is us coming at you. But on the good news, if you are Shenmue 3 fans, keep up with it because that's coming out at the end of the year. So, woo! We have a victory there, right?
Yeah. I got to dive into it.
Yeah. So, anyways, guys, I appreciate you watching. As always, stay tuned for more upcoming content and more upgrades. Thank you, Mitchell, for being with us today. And as always...
I have a cut. Just let's go.
And as always, my friends...
Take the camera off!
Until next time.